can't lose.
No, we can't lose.
Enjoy it while it lasts. Gambling gods, fickle bunch.
Oh, yeah.
So easily
We
affected.
have a shooter and a good one coming out for a new point. Get your bets down, ladies and gentlemen. He's a rolling point is 9, place 9. 9 a winner. Got a hot hand. Place your bets, ladies and gentlemen.
They bet on absolutely anything. Don't make them prove.
Tony Cornell is just such a resourceful guy. I mean, he's the guy that did the original Las Vegas casino in the Meadows.
You're tuned in to Gambling with Good JuJu.
Welcome in, everybody, to Gambling with Good JuJu, the show starring two downtown dirties with eyes on the glitzy prize of high roller rooms in the swankiest resorts Vegas has to offer. Psych! Downtown dirty for life. Hey, while we kick things off, do us a favor and head on over to YouTube or your favorite podcast platform and give us a like, follow, subscribe, all those buttons to let them know you appreciate what we're doing. Give us a follow on the socials at Good JuJu Bets, and if you really like us, then head on over to goodjujubets.net, click on the merch shop, and show your support. Today we've got a very special guest who's been a fixture in the Vegas content scene for over a decade, Mark from 360Vegas. He's just released a brand new book titled Vegas, From Fremont to the Strip, How Las Vegas Casinos Evolved, and it is a must-read for anyone who loves the history, culture, and transformation of Sin City. We're diving into the stories behind the neon, the mobsters, and moguls, and how Vegas became the entertainment capital of the world. Mark's passion and knowledge for this city run deep, and I can't wait for you to hear what he's uncovered. All right, Mark, before we get into this book, set the stage for us. What led you to your passion of all things Las Vegas?
It was accidental. I fell in love with the city, like most tourists do, but it was a second visit that we had. It wasn't the first one that really solidified it. We had gone with friends the second time around, and were a little less distracted by all the tourist traps, things that you needed to do on your first trip, and we just got to kind of relax and enjoy the city more, and that's what got me to fall in love with it. I remember we were staying at Treasure Island, and I just happened to have one of those rooms that bend, so you got a perfect view straight down Las Vegas Boulevard.
Yeah.
And I fell in love with the city.
Yeah. About how long ago was your first trip?
It was 2004.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Trying to put that in perspective for us. Was that that was about when?
Not too far off.
Not too
we
far.
Were 2006.
Yeah. We were Imperial Palace regulars when we first started going.
Nice. Nice.
We were also broke college kids when we were first going. So.
There's so many great memories.
Now,
so many great memories.
Do you get more geeked out over the customary luxuries associated with Vegas, or are you more the type to get geeked out about something new or unexpected or off the beaten path with regards to Vegas?
I'd say a little bit of both, to be honest with you. I like the off the beaten path stuff, but nothing gets me fired up like the Strip and downtown, and when something happens new in either of those places. I like being a local, but it's there's nothing like the Strip or downtown.
What's your preference between the two?
I don't have a preference. I usually spend more time depending on where whoever's coming to visit us happens to be staying. So that really dictates where I spend the most of my time.
All right. So let's get into this book. What inspired you to write Vegas, From Fremont to the Strip, and how long has this project been in the making?
It's been in the making for 13 years. I started working on it when we first started doing 360Vegas podcast. I had the idea to do, in addition to a weekly show, a show that would periodically touch on the history of Las Vegas in ways that I had never seen done before. So I figured if nobody else had done it, then maybe I needed to be the first one to do it.
So did your background influence the stories and insights that you chose to include, or the angle that you approached it from?
I don't think so. I tried to be as open minded as possible. Like one of the things about Vegas that when I initially fell in love with the city that didn't really I wasn't really attracted to was the organized crime aspect of it.
Okay.
And it's one of those things that like you have to at some point, if you love the city, embrace that like yes, some horrible people used to run things here and they used to do horrible things to horrible people.
I mean, that's one of the most fascinating parts of Vegas.
Yeah, I love the
me.
mob museum.
We went to the mob museum last time, and I was just a total like, oh, I was into all of it. I was asking the lady working there, okay, so my grandparents did this thing. Do you think that they were tied to the mob? And if so, were they tied to Vegas? So it was, I love going to the mob museum, and I can't lie to you. It's one of the coolest parts of what I was reading within your book. Was, more of the stories associated with them and how they influence the city and its building. So
it's those stories that really inspired me because I remember when I first started researching this, a lot of specific names would come up like Bill Bennett or Steve Wynn or Kirk Kerkorian and names that I had never heard of before. And I'm like, oh man, people have got to, I really got to tell their stories out there. I find them fascinating. I hope other people do as well.
Okay, so you dropped a couple of pretty well-known names. I guess what's the most interesting, like lesser-known name story that you cover off in the book?
I'd say Tony Cornero. Tony Cornero is such a resourceful guy. I mean, he's the guy that did the original Las Vegas casino in the Meadows. When he came back later and tried to get into the Fremont market, and then later would go on to try and build the Stardust. But in between all that, one of the things that I think is the most resourceful thing about Tony Cornero is he was a guy that used to, apparently in California for a while, they used to have these gambling ships set up 3.1 miles off the coast of the beach, because then it was in international waters. Yeah. And he was one of those guys, like he was the juggernaut of these gambling ships, off Southern California. And I just thought it cracked me up that they're like, no, 3.1, we're safe. We're doing everything according to the law here.
That's fantastic.
And they started finding a way to crack down on that. Isn't that part of his movement to Las Vegas?
Yes. Yeah. They changed, what was his name? It was, I can't remember the guy that was cracking down and trying to make a name for himself. Changed the I think it was he changed the horizon, and that's how it determined whether you were 3.1 miles off or you were within jurisdiction. It was wild.
Yeah.
So your book traces the evolution of Las Vegas casinos. What do you think was the most pivotal moment in that transformation?
Oh, see, I've got to go with the Mirage. The Mirage started off a chain reaction that just exploded. I mean, we had more resorts coming out as fast as they could possibly come out, and we had a time like that before in the 50s where we kind of overbuilt trying to anticipate the market and didn't do a very good job of it. And but after the Mirage, like you literally couldn't stop until the Great Recession. I mean, it just kept building and building and building.
So that really is what caused the Strip to be built, to what we think of it today, right?
Modern Strip, yeah.
Yeah, modern Strip. Yeah, that's interesting. RIP to the Mirage.
Were there any myths or misconceptions about Vegas history that you aim to correct?
Oh yeah, definitely. Billy Wilkerson, the credit that Billy Wilkerson doesn't get for the Flamingo is criminal. Billy Wilkerson was one of the first names that I stumbled upon when I first started doing research. He's one of the first vintage episodes we ever did. And it's the story of a guy that basically invented Las Vegas. And because it was a sexier idea to have, this mobster who really kind of edged him out of it and screwed it up, really.
Yeah.
So much that it, took 5 months after he opened the place for them to end up killing him.
Yeah. All right. So since you brought up the Flamingo, interpret this how you like. What grade would you give the movie Bugsy?
Oh, see, that's so tough because it's a good movie, but it's full of lies.
All right. So you can grade it on, merit and authenticity or historical accuracy if you'd like separately.
All right. So yes, I'd give it an F and well, I'll give it a D in history. And
Okay.
as far as a good movie goes, I'll give it's a B. It's a good movie.
Good watch.
I like the idea of a guy having an epiphany in the desert and coming up with. I mean, it's a romantic idea. There's a reason why it works.
Yeah. Have you ever seen it?
Bugsy, I have.
Yeah, that's a pretty good film.
I have seen Bugsy.
Yeah.
And I saw it because of social media content. I don't know whose it was. I can't give you credit, Mark. But I will say that someone was talking about how Bugsy, because you're always retweeting stuff.
Oh,
like that.
Yeah.
And it was in the last couple of years I watched it.
It's a pretty good film.
Yeah. So while we're on that topic, was there anything interesting that came out in the book in regards to sort of the organized crime and the corporatization and the battle or the butting of heads that took place there in the course of the development of Vegas?
I don't know if there was a butting of heads. It seemed like when the transition finally happened, it was kind of like a bunch of old guys who were about to get in trouble, were looking to sell, and all of a sudden you had somebody who was able to buy from them. So there wasn't really a clashing of heads. I'd say one of the more interesting mob-related stories is the Mo Dalitz, the good guy Mo Dalitz. The myth behind Mo, and we'll never know the truth other than he was a hell of a philanthropist. The story behind this man is that he truly did transition from organized crime into legitimate front. Although the problem with that is there's no reason to believe that he wasn't involved in a skim. So even if he went legit, I'm sure it was with strings.
That's a good qualifier.
So why do you think the Strip ultimately took over downtown? Like, why didn't downtown keep up, and why wasn't there more like two main areas?
Geography. Yeah. I mean, you had the ability to build these palaces, whereas downtown they were all kind of landlocked. Really, there's only so much room that they can do, and the area didn't think to do. I mean, because think about the Strip. The Strip has imploded itself several times over, and downtown doesn't do that. Even when downtown recently did it's Circa with Circa coming out, even that was a slow built teardown.
Yeah.
What do you think of the current incarnation of downtown?
Yeah, the Stevens property. Yeah.
You think they're doing well?
Yes, I love them.
I
do.
I mean, the plaza, we have a good time there. We feel it's well run. We like the Derek Stevens properties and the offers we get to gamble there in town and the offers we get from them.
Yeah.
And just the enjoyment and kind of the craziness, the zooiness of downtown as opposed to the rigid luxury of the Strip appeals to us.
Yeah.
Rigid luxury. I like it.
Luxury.
It's what it feels like, like you're almost trapped to one property unless you're going to walk 20 minutes. Let's talk about that for a minute.
Yeah.
First of all, let me ask this. There's essentially a duopoly on the Strip. Is that correct?
Yeah. In essence, right? Yeah.
Is that a net positive? Can you explain what that is, first of all? And is that a net positive or negative for visitors?
So I would say what that is two companies primarily own every property on the Strip. I don't remember the exact numbers, but they own the majority of the Strip. And now the good thing about that is it allows you to spread your play across multiple properties. Yeah. So for a low roller like me, I like to visit a lot of properties and spread my play around. So when you go to companies like, say, Win Encore, they've only got two properties that are involved in their players club. So I'm kind of stranded at that property, if I really want my play to go further. Whereas if it's with Caesars Entertainment or MGM, I've got 6 or 7 different properties that I get to pick from to play at.
And it feels to me like downtown is a little bit more of a gambling first focused area, whereas the Strip has more blown into this full-blown entertainment complex.
Resort shows.
How did the focus shift away from gambling and towards that on the Strip?
It always did, especially with the Sands, when entertainment was the premier good that they were putting out to try and pull in the gamblers. True, but they initially started to pull in the gamblers, but then it became, it morphed into this. Everybody's trying to one up, each other to have the biggest names on the strip.
I've got that iconic poster of the Rat Pack in front of the stands.
Oh, so
hanging
good.
in the garage. Well, it's actually in that old TV.
So give me this for a second here. If you have one complaint or one problem or something wrong with Las Vegas today, what are they dealing with in your mind? That's the biggest problem.
They are not embracing the middle market like they did after the post Mirage explosion. The high end got built for and overbuilt for, and right now I think that's why we're having two major issues at Resorts World and at Fountain Blue, because they tried to build for the high end and it's like that market is already taken. I mean, if you want conventioneers, there's room for that. But the high end has been built for Wynn and Encore, Palazzo, Bellagio, Aria, Cosmopolitan. Those properties cater to those people already, and they cater to them really well.
I mean, you think they were trying to maybe siphon off those customers, or?
Well, that's what everybody thinks. Vegas history will show you how many times people have had the idea of build it and they will come. You know, they've had that syndrome come to bite them in the ass a couple of times.
I have not stepped foot in either of those properties. And I don't know that I will. I guess I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of either.
Yeah, and it's out of the way, right? It's like the wrong end of the strip, kind of to begin with.
Is this baseball stadium going to happen?
I don't know. It's weird. I don't like taking anybody's team away, you know. So they've already done it with the Raiders once. I'm originally a Cleveland fan. You know, I've had my team taken away from me before, so I don't like it.
I don't think Sacramento's going to care too much, Mark. They've already had the team taken away.
Yeah.
Well, I'll just say this real quick. I saw the designs, right, for the stadium right there on the strip and everything, and I would absolutely go to a game there.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Love to go to a game there. I thought the designs looked amazing.
Yeah.
I was like all in on this idea.
You're very passionate about baseball stadiums in general, too.
Yeah, we are trying to go to, we have like 5 left, 5 or 6 left to go to out of all.
Oh, that's amazing.
So you definitely have to go to this one if they build it.
Right.
But like boots on the ground, like there's no sign of a baseball stadium, right? It's just like is it just like is it leveled at this point?
Yeah. It's very much like the what was it, the all resorts all world resort, whatever. They had a sports stadium that they were talking about building, a complex that they were going to build, and they did the same thing where they just kind of moved dirt around. I mean, that's really all they've done. It's become leveled, and now they just kind of move dirt around.
So okay, this is like such a valuable piece of land. Like somebody's got to put something here if it's not a baseball stadium, right?
I would think.
Yeah.
I would think.
I mean, they got Allegiant done.
Yeah.
It feels like a city that can get something done.
I mean, so Allegiant, that was. Would you consider that a net positive for the strip area?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it helped to evolve the entertainment capital of the world to now expand into sports now. And, you know, we don't have an NBA team yet, but we're supposed to be getting one soon.
Yeah.
Potential of baseball. Having the big 3 or the big 4, I think is a real net positive for Vegas.
Well, I mean, since the Blackhawks are never in the playoffs anymore, I like to cheer for the Vegas Knights.
Yeah, of course.
I'm a Vegas guy, you know. So
they're awesome usually. Yeah.
I'd love to go. I haven't been during the season because we always go in August lately.
Yeah. What about everybody's always showing how hard it is to get home from that place, right? I mean, is that pretty accurate? Like WrestleMania and nobody can leave, basically.
Yeah. It's utter gridlock. That is one thing that they haven't figured out, is how to handle the massive crowd influxes that they have.
Yeah.
Because you are right. It was absolute gridlock from WrestleMania.
And even people can't leave on foot and stuff. Like the guys are trying to walk up the escalators and stuff.
Right?
Yeah.
I saw that.
Yeah. Nobody can get a ride share. It's just, I don't know. I hope to get to an event there sometime. I don't know what it would be, a football game, I guess. I don't know. Or T-Mobile, that would be sweet to get to
another positive for downtown there. Just getting away from downtown is easier than getting away from the strip.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
All right, let's get back to the book.
Back to the book. Yeah.
All right, here we go. Mark, if someone's planning their first trip to Vegas after reading your book, what historical spot or experience would you recommend they seek out?
Oh, they've got to go to the Neon Museum. There's just something so romantic about the Neon Museum. You get to see the signs of Vegas history, some with still working neon in them. I mean, it's that's the closest thing you're going to get to being able to visit it. Like we have people all the time talking about, oh, they need to build a resort that's like Rat Pack, era, and like, yeah, that's not going to work, unfortunately. But this is the closest thing that you'll get to being able to step back in time and visit some of those old properties.
Yeah. Okay. I love that idea for two reasons. I've never been, and I'm kind of surprised I haven't been. But one, what a great place to like take merch pics.
No.
Two, what a great place to like draw inspiration for our brand.
I'm always looking for a romantic place to go with you. Mark, what do you hope readers, whether Vegas veterans or newcomers, take away from your book, Vegas, From Fremont to the Strip?
Just that it's got such a rich history to it. I mean, there's all the partying and the entertainment and everything else that's going on, but this is a city with a rich and diverse background of some colorful characters, but characters nonetheless. I mean, people like Bill Bennett don't get the recognition that he deserves for basically creating the super mega mark of the mid tier.
Well, I can't wait to finish it.
Right.
Yes, we haven't finished it.
Well,
it's all right. It's a big book.
It is a big book.
You can see where I am, and I got the book on Thursday, and I have 3 children, Mark. So I made some real progress. I promise you that. Before we let you go, we knew about you long before the book from your 360 Vegas social pages, your podcast, those sorts of things. What can folks expect to get by following you across your various channels?
Anything that we find interesting about Vegas is what you're gonna find with us. What we like to think our show is there's channels all over the place that are giving you information. We're sorting through those to let you know what we thought was the most interesting thing that happened. Even as much as there's a new sign here, at Park MGM, like going, hey, if we noticed it, let's talk about it. It sounds interesting.
Yeah, I love that. The aggregation. Yeah, for sure.
Yes. Fantastic. Mark, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us. You can find Mark's book, Vegas, From Fremont to the Strip, How Las Vegas Casinos Evolved, on Amazon. Anywhere else we can track it down, Mark?
No, Amazon's the primary place to get it.
Fantastic.
Awesome. In addition to his book, you can get all of Mark's content via the 360 Vegas accounts on Twitter, Instagram, their podcast, YouTube, and probably other places. Good juju to your bets, folks. We'll talk again next week.